Okay, let's get more analysis on this from James Dorsey, who's in Singapore, and he's a Middle East analyst and an adjunct senior fellow at the S. Rajaratnam School of International Studies. Welcome to you, James. I want to just get your response, first of all, to what the Iranian foreign minister has just said, that there's lots of moral judgments have been made of Iran, and Iran's saying this is illegal, this is against international law, this is against the UN Charter, and it's an unjustified attack, and we're absolutely entitled legally to defend ourselves and launch our own attacks.
It's good to be with you, Neil. Indeed, I mean, Iran does have a right to protect itself. The question of the legality of the U.S. strikes is twofold. One is an issue of procedure, both domestically in the United States, whether or not Congress should have been consulted on this, and of course, if there was an imminent danger posed by Iran that necessitated an attack. And that really leads you to the core of the issue, which is Iran has repeatedly declared that it has no intention to build a nuclear bomb or a nuclear weapon. It does have two of the three ingredients it needs. It has missiles, it has highly enriched uranium, but it has not put it together. The question here is whether, on the one hand, how long Iran would have needed to put a nuclear weapon together. That's a question of debate. But more importantly, this is a strike to preempt it, whether or not it has decided to do so. And that has, of course, is legally questionable in terms of striking against Iran.
I mean, you would think if the United States has taken this huge step to launch military action on a sovereign country's territory, that it had some reason. I can't say good reason, but it had some reason. I mean, do you think that it is all about the nuclear capabilities of Iran? Because if you look at the comments of Tulsi Gabbard, the US Director of National Intelligence, she said only, 3 months ago that Iran isn't building a nuclear weapon. So why does Donald Trump think that he knows better?
Well, clearly the Israelis have contradicted long-standing assessments by the U.S. intelligence community, as well as the International Atomic Energy Agency and others, that Iran is not, there are no indications that Iran is building a nuclear weapon. That says nothing about intention, and it says nothing about capability. And the Israelis are arguing on the basis of intention and of capability, rather than on the basis of what the Iranians may or may not be doing. What Trump has done is he has clearly bought into the Israeli argument, totally dismissing. I mean, when he was asked about Tulsi Gabbard's statement in March that Iran was not developing nuclear weapons, he said, she's wrong, and simply dismissed it out of hand. So by endorsing and accepting the Israeli interpretation or the Israeli version of state of affairs, he has made up his mind. We were kept guessing for a while whether or not military movements, his 2-week timeline, whether that was a pressure on Iran, and in the hope that Iran would cave in and military action would not be necessary, or whether it was a ruse. We now know it was a ruse.
I mean, is it fair to say that the IAEA hasn't issued any kind of warnings that there's an imminent danger coming from Iran?
Well, in fact, you had a statement by Grossi, the head of the International Atomic Energy Agency, just in the last few days. I think it was an interview on Al Jazeera, in which he unequivocally stated that Iran, there was no indication, and he had no indication, that Iran was moving towards building a nuclear weapon. Okay,
I'm hearing, James, that we've had comment from Antonio Guterres, the head of the UN. I don't know if we can actually play the soundbite. Do we have that? Do we have that on tape? Okay, we've got a graphic of it. I'll just take you through what's been said. So, Antonio Guterres condemned the latest attack by the US. He put this on social media, in fact, saying that he's gravely alarmed by the use of force by the United States against Iran, branding the US strikes on Iran a dangerous escalation in a region already on the edge, called it a direct threat to international peace and security, urging the only path forward is diplomacy. So, James, diplomacy, and that's what Donald Trump, I guess, is asking for as well. He says he wants peace. But if you're Iran and you've just had this unexpected attack, the missile strike from Israel launched, I think it was June 13th, and now that whole thing has been doubled down on by the United States, are you likely to sit down and talk to countries who are both attacking you?
Well, the Iranians have been very clear they're not going to do that. But more fundamentally, I actually do believe that both the Iranians and Trump want a negotiated solution. The problem with that is that Trump's negotiation, in many ways, the strikes against the 3 nuclear facilities is an extension of that. Trump's negotiating position and strategy is, this is what I want. I'm telling you I want this. You're going to execute this and implement it and accept it, or all hell breaks loose. That's obviously not a negotiating stance that is going to go down well in Tehran, and did not go down well in Tehran.